Sharks, I come before you today with a proposition
Uh, I'm
for,
I'm out. That was Damon the black guy. Hey,
okay,
it's me, Mark
so
Cuban. It's Mark Cuban. I'd love to see you. What do you? What's your? I don't know. I don't even remember how it goes. I just know there was a guy called Mr. Wonderful, and he was always rubbing his hands together.
yeah, Mark Cuban, you're really going to want in on this because this is OLOC, the demon.
Oh
If
no.
I have,
Okay.
I have a few OLOCs to go through today, so we don't have
Okay.
to
All right. Well,
spend,
hold on. Well, hold on. Wait a second. It's me, Damon. I'm Fubu guy. I'm back in.
we don't have to spend too much time on this, but I do just want to talk to you about what the heads of the demon OLOC represent in this case.
Are they Muppets?
So this is the cartoon hand
Okay.
of a Walt Disney type cartoon.
Mm-hmm. And it's also a
So
barbershop quartet I guess a triplet because there's three of them.
it's a barbershop polyamorous throuple. I'm glad you pointed that out, Mark Cuban. You're exactly on the money with that. One of them is wearing a tinfoil hat, one of them is wearing a pan lid on their head, and the other has a fried egg.
Okay, that's not a beret or some sort of strange French thing. And the other one's wearing eggs, you said?
Yeah, this one is the most complicated. This is the most complicated one that we'll see, but I just wanted to kind of introduce you to the universe of OLOC and the
Okay.
ways that they together as a unit, as a system, can
Yeah,
move
it's like
through
a trinity.
time
It's
and
a trinity. It's an
space.
unholy trinity for sure.
It's an
Okay,
unholy
yeah.
trinity. So
I
we'll go ahead and move on to the next one.
okay.
So now this one is just a doodle on the back of
Kind of like a
another.
Yeti abominable snowman type of vibe.
Yes, which one is this? Is this Mr. Wonderful? I think you're right on the money with that.
No, it's me, Barbara, and I'd love to sell these on QVC.
Your voice got deeper with Barbara, I noticed.
Yeah, wait, I'm the real estate. It's me, Lori, and I want to sell this on QVC.
There is a lot of real estate here on the owl's chest.
Okay, and then okay, just to be clear, these are owls.
So Olak is a three-headed owl.
Okay.
And kind of what I was going for with this thematic situation is the three faces that Joseph Campbell, the famous psychologic philosopher, I guess we'll call him.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about the three faces of man. So I'm kind of channeling the three faces of man here with the three faces of owls. But we also kind of want the Cerberus energy.
So yeah,
So
you want
it's
three-headed dog guarding hell,
mm-hmm.
but owls.
Correct. So we can go ahead and move on from this one. This is just a quick doodle so that you can kind of conceptually
I'm
see.
starting to see that it's just conceptually. I feel like it's just kind of like a three-headed owl.
You're right on
Am I
that.
close? Am I close to what it is?
Conceptually, it's a three-headed owl, but spiritually, it is so much more than that.
Mm, I like that.
Now, here we have a painting. This is
Okay.
acrylic on canvas board, and I
So this is
have it
giving more
here.
Triceratops a little bit.
Sharks, I have the canvas board here with me today. So I
That's a
just wanted to give you a little idea of how cute that is.
very pretty colors. Um,
Yeah, it's giving like maybe like 11th grade art project, you know?
I mean, but pretty good. I mean, it would probably get a decent grade.
I'm
But
a
then the
talented
teacher, I
painter.
don't know, you got a mean art teacher, and it's like, I don't. That does not look like they're really into owls, and they can't find a species of owl that head matches, so they're a little upset by that.
And this one, I think, really captures the dream world energy of Olok.
Okay.
Whereas before we've kind of moved from a cartoon world to a world in which I'm stoned, kind of doodling in my bed with potato chips on my chest.
Okay.
And
For
now
sure.
we're in this dream world.
Ethereal.
It's ethereal. That's a great word, Mark Cuban. I'm so glad that you used that word because that's
But keep in mind,
exactly.
I'm not from Latin America. I mean, my last name is Cuban, but I'm not Cuban.
Now we're going to move on to the final one, and I think that you're really going to like this. This is the final entry into my suggestions
So
for,
this next one is the one that you think is the one.
I think it's the one, and
Okay.
it's open
Or the
to
three, if you will.
notes. So if you have some notes, we can kind of workshop this because this is just the first kind of iteration of what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
So now
I was
in
gonna make sure there was a skeleton involved, and we got a skull, and we got a pyramid, an open
mhm,
book.
that's the Bible.
Is that the Vatican?
That's the Vatican. You are right, Mark
Ooh,
Cuban. Wow, Mark Cuban, you are very astute
I'm a
today.
billionaire. What the fuck do you think I am?
Yeah, I think that you're really going to like this. So here, OLOC is not necessarily the center of attention. We
I
have a
like the,
lot of other things going on.
this is the only one I respect in terms of a creature, for being completely honest. This one means business.
We're getting full creature on this one. This design is not a doodle, it's not a hand,
No, they're real owls.
and it's not a 11th grade art project.
Which one scares you the most? Which owl? Which one of the three?
The one that's to my far right, closest to the Vatican.
Okay, now okay, I think the pink-eyed one is really the one that's really giving me the creeps. But I don't know, the one in the middle has got a very sinister look. They're all very scary.
They're the scariest owls that I could find.
They're you got a bunch of Simon Cowell owls, cowls. Did that work? Everybody's like, nope. They're shaking their head. No. Okay, I'm getting a no. All right, well,
So I think for now, this is a great album cover, and we're going to be using this on our channels until we find something better. But I did want to introduce you to OLOC, maybe just start getting into the lore of OLOC being this system of owl energies, three-headed, that guards the gates of conspiracy. And
can we get a grim?
we,
Can we get that grim reaper maybe?
we could, I like that note.
I'm just spitballing here. I don't know. I'm just throwing
I
things
like
out
that
there.
note. I was thinking about adding a fourth dimension in the front. We could definitely
Be
do
like a cloaked individual in the back.
a
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
cloak,
just
a
this. Yeah,
Grim
this is
Reaper.
sick. Yeah,
Yeah, so
I think you did a great job.
thank you so much. I'll go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing because I did that's all I prepared for today. I would love to talk about conspiracies with you, but
No, you did
Olak
work. That's good. I was really
Olak was
hoping that
speaking
you
through
had
me.
a topic and you were fully prepared, but that's fine.
Olak was speaking through me and I had to channel what the deity wanted, and
You
I
had to
think that
paint
I've satisfied that.
six different creatures.
And then what I did want to talk about today is actually Jim Carrey.
Well, alrighty then. That's
Mm.
smoking. Okay. You know
Hubba
his
hubba.
movie Jim Carrey, The Mask. Have you ever seen it?
I've seen The Mask. It was like one of my favorite movies growing up. I don't know if you can tell by my entire personality.
Yeah, you do have a somebody stop me type vibe.
I am always asking somebody to stop me.
God, Jim Carrey, what a an interesting fella.
Well, what I heard, and we can get loosey-goosey with this because I could not find the clip anywhere,
Okay.
is that he was on a late night talk show, we think Conan O'Brien,
Hmm.
and he started like openly talking about the existence of the Illuminati.
Oh, absolutely. He's done that multiple times.
And he was like going on this kind of campaign to expose the Illuminati. And then his partner was found dead, having overdosed on a drug that they did not have in their household.
Yeah.
And then that's when they started showing him to be crazy. He like grew out his beard. He started getting really depressed. And there were all of these like viral stories about
He
how Jim
makes
Carrey's
fantastic
gone.
art. He's like an
He's an
incredible
amazing
artist.
artist. He's a really talented
Um,
artist. But trauma does that to you. So that's why my owls
I
look
don't know.
so
I've had a
good.
ton of trauma and I couldn't draw a stick figure if you paid me. Um, well, I think we might need to get a pet detective on the case then.
Yeah, maybe we can go find some evidence. But I did want to actually, while we're on the subject of the Illuminati, talk about where you're calling in from.
Oh, I bought Epstein Island. I'm on it. Beautiful weather. It's quite tropical. No slaves included. So it was just the island. It's a
Mm.
weird temple in the background, but yeah. So I bought the island and
How much did that run you?
it was pretty penny.
Mm.
Um, but I got separated into four easy payments on Klarna. So I'm kind of financing it out. But yeah, as you would have guessed, the vibes aren't great. But we'll see.
Yeah, we got to get a recorder and a what's that app we used to use? I can't remember what it's called, but we got to get some ghost hunting apps out there.
I don't even. They might not even work here, but yeah, yeah, everything's creepy here, and there's yeah plenty of ghosts, and it's
Well, the temple looks cool. What are you repurposing the temple for? Are you going to be
yeah,
doing any rituals in there or
I believe it's an active synagogue. If I'm not mistaken. I think it's active.
that's a bold thing to say in these trying times.
He was a Jewish man. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about that about our President Trump, the hero. What?
I have so much to tell you.
Okay, so let's keep with Jim Carrey. All right. Well, alrighty then. I can't really do one. I'm gonna do the whole. I'm actually doing the whole episode talking with my butt. You know, like he does.
Yeah, that's one good thing about pivoting to video. Yeah, we here at Our Lady of Conspiracy Industries have made the pivot to video. That's one
Yeah.
thing about the pivot to video is we could talk with our butt and the
Yeah.
audience members can really get in on the action.
From Epstein Island.
Talking on our butt from Epstein Island, really turning on its head
Do you
the
think this will curse the
concept.
episode by me doing this from here?
Do you have any other islands that you want to call us in from just
I
to
mean,
help you
I
with your
got hell. I've
vibes?
got Drake's house. I've got my standard Drake's house. Hell.
I think hell would probably be better than Epstein Island.
I mean, the one and the same if we're being completely honest. All
Yeah, it
right.
depends on your age and gender, but yeah.
Age and gender aren't real. Um. Ooh, I could do it. I got a spooky haunted place.
Oh, let's see if there's any ghosts in there.
It's more like a wolf mountain. Or I can do. I mean, I can stand it. I always like this. This is just tight. It's just a city in the
Hmm.
background. It just looks cool, but it's more of a news type vibe, you know?
Yeah, do you have any breaking news? Whoa,
Yeah.
spooky.
Yeah. It's a very scary place. And then there's you got Dracula's something.
Ew, are these AI?
I mean, they're just backgrounds. I'm sorry. I'm going back to Drake's house. All right, I'm back at Drake's. All right,
I think Drake's house is actually great.
it's nice. All right.
I don't have much more on Jim Carrey. He just took
Well,
a
I mean, that's
long,
pretty.
long break from film, and people are starting to uncover the timeline of when that happened is around the time he did that smear campaign where
I
he was
remember
talking
this, but
about.
it's really
Mhm.
been. I wonder if we got forget me sticked or whatever. Because you just, or I guess you just move on because we all got our own problems. But I remember that's crazy how easy it is for us to just move on with something that's very glaring and clearly some sort of foul play.
Well, also like he's the funny guy, so they always just made it seem like a joke.
But what about? I mean, we got Truman Show. We got he's a Eternal Sunshine, whatever that spotless guy thing movie is was.
Mm, my favorite. Ugh, I love that movie so much.
If we're being completely honest, and don't get me wrong, I mean Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, those were all classics for as you know as a kid coming up. But his energy was a little bit much for me. He got on my nerves a little bit.
Yeah, I can't really go back and watch. I think The Mask is still a good rewatch for me, but anything
Is it
other than
really?
that, yeah.
Yeah, well, you
Cable
love ska
Guy,
music. You're really big on ska music.
I am big into ska. That's one thing about me that everybody knows is I'm always doing the two-step and wearing striped pants.
And one problem I do also have is that I can't like not see his Grinch face. Like whenever I see him, I don't care if he has a beard or long hair, he's always the Grinch. And it's just
Mm.
something that, and the Grinch rules, don't get me wrong. I mean, shout out to Stealing Christmas, but I'm not trying to disparage the man too
Well,
much.
he's also a really powerful like magician. He talks about his witchcraft and he talks about how he wrote himself a check and he did a spell and that's how he came to fame.
Pretty
And I
sick.
think that like, when someone's really energetically sensitive like that and they get into an environment like Hollywood, it's got to be really hard to endure that, like endure that energy.
Well, yeah, and he's also going against probably the most sinister energy in Hollywood. You're dealing with like a fucking satanic pedophile cabal, and you're dealing with got to deal with fucking what's his name, the guy with the mangled penis, Harvey.
Oh, I was gonna say Elon because everybody keeps talking about how he has a fucked up dick.
I'm so really honestly Epstein fucked up dick. Harvey Weinstein. Is it Harvey Weinstein?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his was like he like lost his penis was like burned off from he had some sort of penile like gangrene. Have you looked into Harvey Weinstein at all?
Not his penis, but
Well, no, but see, since I mean, yeah, obviously a predator, obviously doing very bad things, but he wasn't assaulting with his genitals. He was like eating these women out, like assaulting by, and I'm not even kidding. That's not a joke. That's what he was doing.
yeah,
So I mean, he
it's
was
not
leveraging his
funny.
power, which is not that's not good. But I don't know. D- Down with Harvey Weinstein is what I say to him.
Yeah, I do think culturally, the way that we idolize the penis and we put so much pressure on men to have like a functioning and beautiful porn-ready penis at all
Yeah, you don't need it.
times, I think that might have led some of these people to go into a psychotic rage.
True.
Like people with normal dicks are not doing crazy ass sex crimes.
Yeah, they absolutely are. They absolutely are, and actually, in
Not the ones that
very,
victimize me. I'm just saying if they
very big
did,
numbers.
I bet if they did mugshots of the dick specifically, we would start to see a theme.
All I'm saying, his was like one of like from the accounts, and I was pouring through the court reports, and I was reading all. I was keeping up with the description of his gangrene, mangled, burned off, not functioning penis. But so his is one of the worst. But Epstein had like a weird egg type thing, if I recall the description. He had like an egg penis. Um,
You know, I took all this time to prepare a slideshow of my owl drawings, and it's the least you can do to provide me a slideshow of the fucked up penises of the
no, if I don't
powerful
know,
men
I
of
don't think
this world.
those are kind of the things that you really don't. You think you want to see it, but you don't. There's some. It's like a cursed image. But all I'm saying is these bad people. There's some correlation between their mangled penises and yeah, they're bad guys. What were we talking about? Jim Carrey,
Well, I did a reading
mangled
for Luigi
penises.
Mangione.
Okay,
I did a tarot reading for him.
okay.
Guess who asked me to do that?
Wario.
No, I'll give you two more guesses.
I don't know.
Wow, you must be a comedian. All that dead air.
You must shut up.
My therapist asked me to do a reading for Luigi.
And did you say yeah? I'll do that. And also, you're fired. Did you?
I did it. But I didn't do it on the phone with her because she's scared of tarot cards, but I did it separately
Oh, this.
because
Oh, I forgot how much he rules. Oh,
yeah,
wait,
she's
could you do one for Luigi? But I can't be on the that's witchcraft. I cannot be around it. But please do it and tell me what it go. Please tell me.
yeah, she's obsessed with Luigi because obviously he's hot, right?
Right.
Um and I'm gonna show you the reading as well, but I'm gonna talk about it, but I just think it's so funny that that bottom card right there looks just like him.
I can't really see, but I do believe you.
Okay,
I mean, I can see it, but I can't like make out the details.
I'll drop it in the edit. Oh, maybe this is a little better.
It's the glare that's really doing the. See, to me that looks like. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Looks like a chubby boy.
it's an Italian man with black hair and a big nose and big eyebrows.
Okay. Speaking of Italian, man, you know I was laughing earlier. I was
Speaking
reading
of
up on
Italian
the
men.
Kundalini, and
Hmm.
I just thought it would be funny if the Italians thought that was a pasta dish. They're like, give me a pasta Kundalini. Pretty funny. All right, carry on.
Any other fake pastas you can think of?
Um, nope.
Because
Pasta alla vista.
I want to try Kundalini. That sounds delicious.
No, it absolutely does. And you know, it's like a very like ornate, like a one of those like spiral type ones, like a real cool kind of pasta shape.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's in the
Okay.
shape of, okay, anyway.
Well, when I think Kundalini, I think of like perverts doing sex shit. So
Yeah, I think of, you know, yeah. the divine feminine energy, or whatever. I think that's what that is.
So I imagine that if it were Kundalini pasta, it would look like two people fucking. Like it would be these
That's
two,
perverted. Okay, this is you're gonna turn this podcast into smut.
it would be these two bodies intertwined in the throes of passion.
It's just the son lovingly kissing his mother.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
So
that is kind of
doesn't it look like him?
it's a me, Luigi Mangione
It's a
from
me, Luigi.
it's me, the spirit. It's future. It's his. Okay, I don't know.
So let's talk about this reading.
Okay,
First, we have
okay.
tell me what you see when you look at the Nine of Swords. What does that look like to you?
Um, looks like somebody's sad
Somebody's sad. They're crying.
because they're an incel and they have their karate swords displayed proudly in their bedroom.
Now, Mark Cuban, I am so glad you brought up these karate swords because this is the most valuable part of my pitch to you. So
I've
the
got
Nine
plenty
of
of swords.
Swords, it has a lot to do with regret.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot to do with almost endings. So when you're
Okay.
at the Nine of Swords, it means that something is about to end.
So
And
like
if I
edging.
were like edging, that's a great
Okay.
point.
All right.
Was that Barbara? Thank you, Barbara, for mentioning the edging. I'm glad you
No,
mentioned
that was
that.
Mr. Wonderful again, or whatever, the weird guy.
Mr. Worldwide.
What is his name? Is it Mr. Wonderful, Mr. Fantastic? It's something terrible like that. And he's just a dickhead all the time. He's like, well, I'll give you a licensing deal. Anyway, yeah, it was that guy. It's Mr. Something. Mr. Boombastic. Could that be it? Used to watch a lot of Shark Tank.
So
No,
if I were
Mr. Fantastic
just,
was the comic book character, and that's like the Fox, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think it's Mr. Wonderful.
and why do they call him that?
Yeah, it is. His name Kevin O'Leary. Mr. Wonderful. Who knows? Because he's never wonderful, maybe. All right, let's get off with Mr. Wonderful. But that's a pretty sick nickname if you're gonna get one. If you're gonna get one, honestly.
I mean, it's positive, it's wholesome, it's
Yeah,
gender affirming.
it is gender affirming. It's very gender affirming. All right.
So
So
let's talk
okay, so
about this.
sadness, swords, almost endings.
Yeah, so if I were just reading the Nine of Swords, I would think that he's going to get the death penalty.
Okay.
Or because it's a sword card and it's about our thoughts and about how we process information, he may be really feeling as if he's going to get the death penalty and it's causing a lot of grief for him. It's like really traumatizing him to think about it.
Yeah, I would imagine that'd be pretty traumatizing.
I mean, imagine. And then I'm gonna read the Two of Pentacles reversed
This
and
one's I've
the
been laughing at this card. It makes me laughing, but I'm surely it's not a laughing matter.
yeah, I mean, what do you see when you see the Two of Pentacles?
See an upside down jester or something.
An upside down jester. That's a great point. He's wearing tights. He has a funny hat on,
Mm-hmm.
and he's
It,
juggling two pentacles.
what is a
Now,
pentacle?
a pentacle is a coin,
Okay, fair enough.
and it has a pentagram on it.
Ah, okay.
I know you really like pentagrams.
Yeah, they're pretty sick.
They're super sick.
I was just thinking, hoping it was some sort of like new kind of like leg or arm, like a tentacle. It's like a some sort of cool new octopus type thing, but wrong again.
I have to draw that. That sounds so sick. An octopus with eight pentacles.
Yeah,
So, what I see
I'm into
here,
pentacle porn. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
pentacle porn, that's great. The witches that are listening are gonna fucking love that.
And all the
Pentacle
Japanese
porn.
people, they're like, oh, they're not gonna say oh. Move on.
Okay. So the Two of Pentacles reversed is about like failing to weigh all of your options. So like you're comparing two things when in reality there's a lot more available to you. I can see this here as maybe mismeasuring money. I can see this here as maybe not being able to take care of your bodily needs. And then when I see it with the Four of Pentacles, this is about trying to hang on to your wealth and to your bounty and to use the foundation that you have. So to me, I think what he's doing here is he's weighing his privilege against
Okay.
his duty.
His duty.
Good one.
And he's
And I
upside down, which
mean,
is very difficult to do anything upside down.
well, here he's upright and he has all these coins. And I think that's going to make him very popular in prison.
Yeah, he's buying everybody soup.
So that's our reading for Luigi Mangione.
So things, yeah, yeah, reporting from the prison and the courthouse, things aren't looking great.
I would love to be a courthouse tarot reader and just like sit in the pews and do
They got
readings.
the person drawing it, they got the court reporter, then they got the court witch, and you're in there like doing, you got like this crystal ball and fucking doing all sorts of
Burn
weird. It's like,
him.
hold on, the crystal witch still needs to speak. The court witch.
Yeah, I actually have something to say. I just threw my charms and I'm gonna have to go guilty on this one.
Yeah, Your Honor, the witch said, just using magic as a backup.
Hey, I mean the witch trials.
I was just reading up on the European ones and how insane they are.
So crazy. So fucked up.
Pretty funny though. I talk about this all the time. I've told you this a million times, but just how they had the all the actual court reportings and the people. They just it was
Yeah, insane.
the quote the witches just their stories about how the devil was like part dog and would bite them and they're just their lies that they would make up about hanging out with the devil. That's what was really funny about it. But yeah, so it's pretty. So shout out to witches. They were all getting burned for no reason, probably just because they annoyed some guy.
Oh
Because
yeah, that was it.
you were
Or
just a
wouldn't
bitch to
sleep with
Greg in
someone.
town one time, and all of a sudden he saw you doing magic.
Mm-hmm.
Truly. But were there like a bunch of witches active, or was it truly just guys trying to get rid of their bitch wives?
Well, there was some of that, but then there was also just like discrimination against women that had already gone through menopause. So, like, often after women were menopausal and they were no longer reproducing, they would become healers, they would become chefs, like, they would be cooking and supporting other families.
And the guys
And,
didn't like that.
and yeah, guys didn't like that. It like made them feel inferior because men didn't contribute as much as women to their communities. So they would take it out on the older women. And
I
that's
mean, the
kind of
fact that they
like,
made it to menopause is incredible.
yeah, in those times, are you kidding me?
But yeah, so yeah, I don't. That's shout out to all of the our fallen witches that did not need to be burned or whatever weird thing they made up. That
Yeah,
would be
it's pretty
sick though if
dark.
you just had some matches and just had some like could make light different. You just could be a magician and scare people very
Mhm.
easily.
Well, yeah, like you could poison people's husbands. You could like make people's stepchildren heal from an illness when the husband would prefer that they would die. And in some communities, men were persecuted as witches too, because witchcraft itself was related to Satanism. And so, like, if there was a man who like was I don't know,
Gay
fucking Satan or whatever, but women were supposed to be more susceptible to the devil
because they're stupid.
because they're
Is that why?
stupid. No,
That's
because
because they're
they're
so damn dumb,
connected.
and the devil can trick that. The devil won't trick me.
Yeah, they're
It's
connected
the
to
hood guy with
life.
the horns, the red guy. Yeah, he's not going to trick me. Don't let my wife get caught up in here. She'll talk to anybody in line at the market.
So they're like the spirit of women to be able to reproduce makes them more magical by nature. And so if the devil comes to them with like that energy, they're more susceptible to it. Whereas because men don't create life, they don't have that magical proclivity.
Yeah, the devil would be like, he would be trying to convince you, and he just has some racist guy that's worried about getting to the stable early and before sunrise. It's like, you know,
And what's ironic is like the very thing that made women such a magical, like put them in such a magical place in their community, what made them healers, what made them mothers, what made them like contribute to their community in a divine way that ended up being why they were persecuted because they got too big for their britches. Men didn't like that their proximity to magic made them feel inferior. It's really fucked up. It's kind of similar to what we're experiencing now. I think all misogyny is just
Yeah, it's almost
men
like they're
being
just
jealous that we can
doing that throughout
reproduce.
history. Just yeah, just scratch and sniff, and whatever time you pull up in, there's going to be some sort of maneuver to doing just that. Pretty fun. Shout out to that. Um, yeah, it's always like the worst. It's just like come on. You look back, you're just like God, what a just a bitch move.
Yeah, and
Weak.
a lot of these men would become like famous if they persecuted a lot of witches. So they would just go from town to town trying to get as many as they could and write about it. They would write back to the Pope and be like, "Hey," or whatever the religious leader was. I actually don't even know if it was the Pope, but they'd be like, "Oh, I got this many witches and this is how I did it." And it's a weird cultural phenomenon that goes so far beyond the paranormal
Would
because it
be
was
fun. Just be
also
like witch. It'd be hard not to point witch at somebody. So I do give them a little bit of grace on that from that standpoint.
yeah, as soon as like they start being like, "Oh, there's witches in town," me and my girlfriends are gonna be like, "Girl, you're acting kind of witchy."
Just everything. Just looking everybody just side eye and looking at you do one weird thing or you just like, you're like, oh, just making sure nobody saw you do something. Just one weird you like trip or something, or you sing to yourself for 5 seconds. I thought I saw something that like about, or I guess it was disproven about the some those mushrooms or whatever that were apparently one of the theories was that people were hallucinating and tripping
Mm.
from some sort of it's something in the bread or something, some sort of bacteria that could cause like full on hallucinations and delusions, and that was why they would think some people were considered witches because they were just like talking
Tripping
nonsense
balls.
because they were on tripping balls,
Yeah.
and it was like, but I think that was proven to not be correct. But yeah,
But
that would have been
anyway,
fun to be a real evil witch though. How would you have maneuvered? You'd have to stop putting kids in an oven for a few weeks in the forest. You had to, Hansel and Gretel. You stop luring kids to your into your bog so you can cook kids. Because that's one thing we learned about witches is that they will do good for the community and overall they're trying to be good, but they got to munch a couple of kids every now and again.
they hunger for the flesh of children.
Yeah, and I mean it continues to this day. Shout out to Hillary Clinton. Please don't kill me. Um, same kind of thing.
Well, the thing is, like, if you want someone to be persecuted, all you have to do is say, but the children, that's what they're doing to drag queens. That's
Yeah,
what they're doing with immigrants. That's what they're doing with like everything. They're like, oh, well, if we can make it seem as if these people are hurting the children, then we have the ability to persecute them. So if
it
witches are
it's
eating
true.
our babies, then we have to burn the witches.
Well, no, the witches were actually doing they were putting kids into ovens. That is a fact. But no, you are right. That's the first go to. Anytime you see a video of somebody just acting a fool in Walmart or something, the second it's flipped on them and they'll immediately go to their talking about their kids or yeah, it's nuts. It is fun. It is fun to see all of the just the problems that are coming from all the trans bathroom stuff of cis women being assaulted and mistaken for trans, and then people freaking out because they did not realize that trans men exist, which is hilarious. It's like in every single trans man, even though they do have I've said this before, and I do apologize for saying this, but they do kind of have the voice of a male little person. It's kind of what their voices sounded like,
Hmm.
but they all also are all rockabillys, and they have like beards, and they all are like mechanics.
Oh
So
yeah, nobody. I mean, I definitely know a lot of people like online. I don't know them. I've seen them that transition to male and then become like a very effeminate man. Like they practice masculinity.
oh,
They
really? I've never seen
find,
that. It's usually I see people that I was going to say that they have it, other than like the being smaller size stature, I think they have it easy.
I
Like
love
they're
trans men.
everyone's I see, they're like as dude as it gets.
Trans men can get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but that's it's just very funny. And then you have on the other side, like there's like it's like TikToks of like a slutty trans woman. It's like you want me in the bathroom with your boyfriends. Like okay, but it's hilarious. It's just so dumb that they don't even know what they're talking about. So it's pretty hilarious that
Well, yeah,
it all will come crashing down.
what's happening is that women are going into bathrooms and then male security guards are following them into the bathroom. And now, all of a sudden, when there wasn't a man in the bathroom before, now there is. And it's not because a trans person is in there,
No.
it's because a man decided to go transvestigate women. So, what this has done is created a situation where women are being victimized at the restroom, which is what they were lying about happening in the first place.
But it's the perfect. I mean, I don't want that to happen to anybody, and that sucks for anybody who's has to deal with that. Or just Lord forbid you're a 6'3", field hockey player.
Well,
It's
yeah,
just women. It's just like
that one woman at Walmart was just a tall woman. And she got fired from her job
that's
because
it.
she was transvestigated and ended up being a woman. And then she was the one that got fired.
That's yeah. That doesn't even make sense. There's a big lawsuit there, right?
I hope so. I haven't been keeping up with it.
Well, it's just good because nobody thinks these things through. Now that it's all happening, and it's just like, "Ooh," and then they now they play. They're forced to admit that they don't know what they're either don't know what they're talking about or that they're wrong. So it's like, yeah, these fucking women have been going in the bathroom in there for all of this time before any of this was brought up, and you had no idea. So it's like it's not like it's crazy. I saw something like there was some trans woman that was like arrested in Florida for using the wrong bathroom and had to like go to male jail. And like
So
that's
sad.
like what are they fucking doing?
That's so
Like
sad.
that is I mean that's cruel and unusual at that point. Um I'm really bummed about my sound effects. I had so many
I
good ones.
know. You brought your soundboard, but it's not having the desired effect.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's just.
Yeah, let's get some more silence. I don't think we've had enough silence tonight.
You hear that? You hear that? It
I can kind of hear some clicking noises.
says I'm evil.
Is it Kanye saying I'm evil?
So I got some good soundboards, sound stuff. I've got
Yeah, to me, what it sounds like is when they do the not MVP, what's it called? EMP recordings on Ghost Adventures. And it's just like some static. And they're like, that static is the voice of the maiden trying to fuck me from
yeah.
beyond.
So it's like God. It's actually a very disconcerting voice. So you can't hear this. You can't hear this.
No, but maybe the listener can. I'm sure this is really entertaining for them. We could do a sound check in the middle of an episode. I don't mind. I'm not a professional performer. I can do a sound check whenever I
That
want.
was real. But it's really for you two. Well, I just don't understand why if you can hear me talking into the microphone, why can't you hear me playing a thing into the? I don't understand.
I think it's a sound cancellation issue, but we'll troubleshoot it another time. I have faith in us. I think we can figure it out
That one was Alex
at some
Jones,
point
and
in the future.
then again, Kanye talking about Hitler. Um, I've got some. Yeah, I've got some good stuff on here. That's very upsetting. I worked very hard,
I know. Maybe you could say some funny things into the microphone.
but I wanted to hear him talking about Hitler a bunch. And then I've got Casey Rocket saying "Get lost," and I've got some. And then I've got my wah. I've got that. I've got fool me once, can't fool me, can't get fooled again. I got that.
Which was
Got Elon Musk.
famously,
I've
wasn't
got
that
Elon
on?
Musk saying that comedy that they're trying to cancel comedy or whatever, or trying to make comedy illegal. Got more Kanye being anti-Semitic. Oh, so okay. Can we talk about that before we get out of here?
About
About
Kanye?
about Trump just fucking really sticking it to Israel.
Tell me how.
Well, he's pretty much cut off ties with them and is on the verge of recognizing Palestine as a sovereign nation. It has already negotiated with Saudi Arabia, as wants to sit down with Iran, and Israel's literally like flipping out because
I haven't
we
seen this.
what?
Yeah, while I was in Austin, I didn't consume any news.
So yeah, so they've cut.
I've
So
been
they
fasting.
yeah, so Trump he negotiated for the last hostage, and once he realized that that Netanyahu and Israel weren't operating in good faith, and they did not want the peace, and that they were trying to go to war with Iran, um, then he's just like, no, we're no longer doing that. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. Stopped talking to them, and immediately he negotiated a deal with he talked with Hamas, with a with Yemen. He's like negotiated a peace deal all over, pretty much everywhere around Israel. And it's just said, no, we
Wow.
want to sit down with Iran and we want to sit down with these people. So basically, and Palestine. And so basically, he's on the verge of potentially recognizing Palestine as a state and saying like "fuck off" to Netanyahu, which is a long time coming. And so I don't care, like Trump or not, if he pulls that off, you gotta give him. I gotta give him credit on that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's he's a moron. Oh, obviously he's a moron. But stuff like that is where him being a wild card really can potentially turn to good. It also can he can also do the worst thing imaginable and get us all vaporized in the nuclear holocaust. But yeah, he doesn't like nonsense and he just so
Yeah, I would have loved to, of course, seen something like that sooner, and it is such a tragedy to like see all of this life lost for nothing. But at the same time, I do have the feeling of better late than never. Like I would love to see the whole country change their attitude. So I hope that something good comes of that.
yeah, I mean,
And we owe Palestine a lot.
for sure.
We
I
owe
mean,
them a
it's just
lot.
crazy to go from. I mean, obviously Netanyahu's been a Netanyahu. Shout to Kanye. Has just been on enemy number one on just about everybody's list. So I don't know. I don't know how they were able to trick us for so long. I mean, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand how they got us into bed with them like they have. And it's now that they've called their bluff that they're furious, and apparently that they're like throwing fits about being left out of the deal. And trying to see if I could get some stuff so I could get more facts.
We don't
Um,
need facts around here.
yeah, we do. I'm breaking news on here.
No facts, only vibes.
No, I just think that's pretty sick. Just
Well,
like yeah,
didn't
just
you have a background that was like more newsy? Do you want to call
oh,
us from the
when
field?
I'm floating over the city, that's when I'm doing real reports. It's beep 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 beep.
Yeah, breaking news. Trump grows a fucking spine.
Oh, that's right. And with Saudi, see, I've with Saudi Arabia, he negotiated a nuclear deal for them, which they were trying to get done with Biden, but Biden wouldn't let them. Not nuclear bombs, but nuclear energy.
Mm.
And Biden wouldn't let them do it unless they were unless they like looped in fucking Israel. They had to like back Israel. There's some sort of weird Biden thing that obviously Saudi Arabia was never going to do align with them, and Trump was like, no, you can do the nuclear thing without having to um yeah. So that's big for the Middle East, big for the region. And I'm not even a Trumper. I'm just saying that's pretty good. If somebody does something good, I think it's fair that we these days we need to just like say it.
Yeah.
He's also with China too. He's also got China to the table, and it looks like the tariff deals might work out. What we thought was going to be disastrous. That looks like he got a bunch of people to the table, and now it's so I don't know. So Trump again, our big arsler, a huge just a bozo, but In this instance, he's doing good in the Middle East. And now if he could just, yeah, stop eradicating trans people and doing whatever else, whatever JD Vance, whatever JD Vance is, whatever he's
Hmm.
up to.
Hmm.
Although, shout out to J. This is a Republican podcast, by the way. Shout out to JD Vance.
Yeah, I'm really
Apparently,
trying to hold my tongue because I love you and I think that you're great.
well, apparently they kept Pakistan and India from actually going nuclear. Do you know they're at war, right?
I've heard that. I've heard rumors about
Yeah,
that
they were.
at the
They had a
bathhouse.
fighter. Yeah, they had fighter jets. They had a big air combat, and India was firing missiles at their bases. Like it was literally on the verge of nuclear war. So you need to even watch the news.
Well, even when I follow the news, I don't think that I'm as into the intricacies of war as you are, but I do appreciate it when you report to me.
Oh, I don't like war. War's dumb as hell.
You always know more about war than I do. Always.
I just know who's in it.
Yeah, you're on the pulse. Everything that I learn about the world is against my will. I just happen
For
to
sure.
have an algorithm that has been feeding me genocide. So
Yeah, it's awful.
horrible.
We need to cut it out.
But I do agree that, like, I've been watching a cool Instagram channel called The Necessary Conversation. And this guy is interviewing his parents that are Trumpers.
Mm-hmm.
And for the past like month, like all they have been doing is saying, yeah, everything that Trump does is right. And their son is like, hey,
That's
what
not
about
true.
this? And they're like, well, I support him because blah, blah, blah. Oh, what about this? I support him because blah, blah, blah. And like, I don't want to be the person that
That sucks.
would say, like, oh, everything like, I don't want to be the person that is so stuck in the mud that no matter what Trump does, I can't be satisfied. Like,
No,
if
you
he
can't. You
makes a
can't do that.
deal
Yeah.
and if he ends a genocide and he pays reparations to a country and he supports the restoration of those people, then I'm going to say that that's great.
Right.
The eradication of trans people and the deportation in mass of immigrants, of genocide of our own that is occurring, concentration camps in El Salvador. I can't support Trump because of that, but that doesn't mean I can't celebrate a geopolitical win for our country, you know?
Yeah, I'm not asking anybody to to go MAGA. I think that's crazy.
Because in the
Um,
end, it's a any global decision like that is not made by one person, it's made by a team of people.
for sure.
And in the same way that when we have a national decision of mass deportations of anyone that looks kind of Mexican, it's a team of people that have made the decision to make that happen, and not everyone has to believe that because Trump believes that the United States believe that. But today on that Instagram that I watch, the Necessary Conversation, he got his mom to disagree with Trump for the very first time.
That's big.
It's really big. And it's about the what's the word for when you have a right to due process and Trump's trying to take it away and everybody's freaking out?
What? What? Due
I'm going to have to
process.
Google it. It's like when you get arrested.
Miranda rights.
Oh, darn it. Okay, Trump tries
I'm talking about the Fifth Amendment.
to buy Greenland. Trump tries to speak Spanish. Trump tries to abolish income tax.
Hola,
Trump
fantastic. I can't do. I wish I could do a Trump. I can't do it.
I keep wanting to call it Jim Crow because I
It's
just watched
definitely not Jim. It's
Sinners.
definitely not Jim Crow. It's Jeff Eagle. Very similar, but no. But I think that that's an important thing that I wish everybody could get back to doing because I don't know where we lost nuance and just
Oh, habeas
collective.
corpus.
Oh yeah,
Habeas corpus. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that where we used to all, as a unified group, call the president gay. We used to hate the president as one,
Yeah.
but I think that, and that both sides are awful about this, where they just can't admit that the other side did one thing, and it's just how are you supposed to get anything done or have any kind of bipartisan politics when you just can't even be based in reality and be like, I mean, you can be at odds and be completely from different standpoints and be like, ah, yeah, that worked out. Yeah, it was good. You know when something's good. I wish it could we could all take a second and just be like, hey, that wasn't bad, and
Hmm.
just call it what it a spade instead of this just yeah, just this polarization. It's just so annoying.
Well, I think the important thing too is to remember that you are dressed as a minotaur tonight.
Yeah,
And
I'm a
I think
flamenco.
that's
I'm the
really
flamenco dancer that they wrote about in the Counting Crow song.
it's really brave, and I think that Drake when he comes downstairs is going to be really impressed with your outfit.
Yeah, we're about to write some bars on Kendrick. We're about to go back in on Kendrick.
I have had
Speaking
baby
of owls,
girl.
OVO Drake.
I have had
That's
baby
his
girl. I have
baby
had
girl. It's a
not
jam.
even the song, just those
No, I know.
words
Yeah, baby
stuck in
girl.
my head on a loop
I
for
told you it was
5
gonna happen.
days. I hate it.
It's a jam. You got to play the song. It continues to be a jam.
If I kill myself, that's why.
Baby girl. Yeah. So yeah, well, yeah. But Drake's gonna come down. Yeah, his symbol for his brand is an owl. So I think that ties in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to loop anything in. I'm very mad about the sound thing. That was the one thing I worked on,
I'm so
and I guess I'll
sorry.
save. I had a bunch of stuff, but we've talked. We've got. We went in depth, and
Mm-hmm.
you went on your tirade about MAGA and Trump and how we all are liberal pussies and honestly, you're probably I think we kind of are being liberal pussies, but I
Well,
wish
you
you
know me, like I think that
we should die. I wish you
Democrats
turn the MAGA rhetoric down a little bit. This is this isn't a
I think
Republican
that
podcast.
Democrats are the number one op when it comes to progress in this country.
They are the ops,
MAGA sucks, but the fact that people still identify as fucking Democrats and
dude,
liberals,
for real.
like, are you? And I'm an anarchist, so I just want to say, like, I do not support
Worst
the.
political party of all time. I mean, just losers and corruption and just can't get out of their own way. It's all. If it wasn't so tragic and sad for this country, it's very funny
It's
how bad
fucked
they
up.
are. Um,
It's
well,
the
I guess I
same
can teach.
team. They're just wearing different color ties.
That's right. And they're yeah,
Remember that, kids.
yeah, that's right.
Baby
And they're
girl.
just nicer to the non-binary baristas.
Well, if they pass,
I'm mean to all of them. They all have a bad attitude. I don't care
I've never
what your
been nice to a
pronouns are. It's
barista.
like what?
I've never been nice to a barista.
No, they're terrible. And they already have they're just with their space names and cool haircuts. It's like, all right,
Well,
save some pussy for the rest of us. You know what I mean? What?
now that we have our demon OLOC and we have recorded a beautiful episode about magic and politics, I think it's time
Magic
to
and
go.
politics, and Epstein Island and pedophiles, and that's pretty much every episode's gonna be like just talk about all the conspiracies at once. 9/11. First off, 9/11.
We
Definitely
hit
the
Jim
pyramids, the aliens.
we hit Jim Carrey, but we did not hit the Twin Towers.
No, yeah, Jim Crow is what you were trying to say, not Jim Carrey. Okay, well, I can tease this for next time because I had a bunch. I listed about 15 to 20 of weird CIA or military projects. You know, like
Mm.
just well, you everybody knows MK Ultra, but there was the Bat Bomb, which is my favorite. Are you familiar with the Bat Bomb?
No, we got to talk about it next time.
All right, yeah, just know that they're bats, and it's not has nothing to do with soup or COVID, but there were bats.
Because you know I love a good CIA operation. Okay, this is the last thing I'll say. Because really, what we have, like, this has been great, but
Hmm.
we have to troubleshoot your soundboard. So we got to get off this call. But before we go, I have to tell you that Audrey and I, we love Audrey.
Oh, tree shot Audrey.
We were talking about the woman that committed suicide because she was like a Epstein whistleblower. And
Oh yeah,
I,
committed suicide after getting hit by a bus. Oh,
yeah.
oh shout out to
So
Hillary
I'm
Clinton.
hoping that you can tell me the name of this operation because I could not remember the name of it. And if it might be on your list, but if not, we'll have to find it next time. And it has something to do with Cuba. And it's this machine that
Oh
creates
yeah, you're
this.
talking about the Havana.
Yes.
Hold on, let me see if it is on my list. It's
Oh,
Havana
jump
syndrome.
scare. You're back in
Yeah,
Epstein Island.
I'm back on
Jump
the island.
scare.
I'm about this, but well, I gotta. It's time for the tiki party.
Is this
Um,
Havana syndrome or did
yeah,
you just
Havana
time
syndrome. So they
travel?
would like basically shoot like pain directly into people's head, and they would get sick and dizzy, and like it was like microwave, I believe.
Hmm. So
Yeah,
I
there.
think that they did that to her to drive her crazy. And
Oh, she
I
was just
think
murdered. I don't think she killed herself. She was just killed.
perhaps.
But I mean, that would be a good move on their part to where it'd be like, no, she really did it.
Yeah, there is
But
a way to get people to kill themselves. It's really not that hard.
that's true. All you got to do is say it a couple times, like that mean girl that bullied that one guy. Um, you won't
Well,
do it, you
baby girl,
pussy. It's like, yes, I will. I will do it. Ah.
let
All
me
right,
see you dance. Let me see you twirl.
baby girl. So yeah, we'll learn about the Havana syndrome, the porn bomb, the bat bomb, all sorts of psychic dolphins, mind control sharks, foist to skull. We got some great, good stuff coming up.
Yay. See y'all next time.
Got yeah, my patrons are dressed up as like mermaids, so we're gonna do a little siren thing. So we're gonna get the. All right, we're gonna get out of here.
Bye.